Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Hardline Transport Solutions Rebels Truck Series here on V-Speed Racing Network. I'm Eddie Smith. Glad to have y'all here on Sunday night, a beautiful Sunday night, an 89-degree Sunday night in the end of October here down in Mississippi. It is a hot one, but we're going to be in South Carolina here in the virtual world, and boy, is it one of my favorite tracks. I'll always enjoy this track, whether I'm racing it or watching it. Man, it really does nail everything that you want out of a racetrack. It's got all of the history. It's got all of the things that, it's one of the major races, the Southern 500, one of the legendary races that guys want to win, the Crown Jewels, one of the Crown Jewel at least. And it's just abrasive. It's an odd track. You take a look at the layout here. And if you're not aware, just look at the difference in the corners. 3 and 4, a lot tighter. 1 and 2, a little bit wider. Changes how you race it. But the big thing is just the way the apron works. You've only got that little small line. You can fit a couple trucks in there, but it is tough. And it really is a unique racetrack that puts a lot of emphasis on driving and driving skill. Unfortunately, tonight there is not going to be any lucky winners. It's going to be whoever can drive the best. It's going to be the best driver's going to win this race, and no doubt in my mind. We take a look at the schedule here, getting just about a minute 40 start gridding up. You can see here down in Darlington, a little throwback night tonight. So we're going to see some different paint schemes, some things. The guys doing some fun stuff. That's always a good time. See what guys come up with. Darlington, though, Homestead next week, which will be a blast. Richmond, New Hampshire, and then we'll have Legacy, Atlanta, the old track, not the Super Speedway version, but the new one to set the playoffs. Going to be a good one. Take a look at our point standings right here. You look on top, Michael Kostick with an 8-point lead over Aaron Adcock. These two have been pretty incredible. And this is with drop weeks in, so it can always change pretty quickly. It's not just set in stone when you have drop weeks. But at this point, we are pretty far into the season. I think race 10, that the drop weeks are going to be pretty much settled in at this point. But if you've been having some good races, you have a chance to have a bad one here or there. But we're pretty much in the season now where these points are going to be pretty stable. You won't see too much jumping around at this rate. So, but all right, well, we got to get into the grid. So let's go ahead and see who's going to win the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award. Well, heck, that's going to go to Jonathan Cofield. We got a Bandits front row as Cofield and Kostick going to start on the front row here tonight. Row number 2 is going to be Daniel Cunningham and Tracy Passons. Row number 3 going to be Andy Kurtz and Garrett Kinder. Lucas Lyon going to start in the 7th position with Alan Nash in the 8th spot. 9th going to be Stephon Davis. I got my eyeball on you, Stephon. Let's see what you can do tonight. Starting up into the top 10. I'm excited to see. Definitely a good driver, so should be able to show off his skill here tonight. Kenneth Patton going to be rounding out the top 10. Starting 11th is going to be Travis Bieber with Tyler Rice starting in 12th. What a great qualifying effort for Tyler. 13th is going to be Aaron Adcock. Second in points, Brett Bieber in 14th. You got Josh Lokovitz and Charles Stevens Jr. starting next to each other. 15th to 16th. 17th and 18th is Brandon Wallace and Mickey Isaac. Swap them up. Starting in 19th is Kyle Roberts. And 20th, Jeremiah Holt. Starting 21st is going to be James Nelson with Alex Veets starting in 22nd. 23rd, Matt Knights, Curtis Sobrin in 24th. 25th, Mike Veith and Spencer Gay in the 26th position. 27th, Tommy Osborne and Gary Wright in the 28th spot. And that rounds out your grid. 28 drivers here in this race. Boy, that's going to be that's a lot of trucks. We have to think about cautions and just how this track does not like for you to race side by side. So if you're starting in the back, it's going to be tough to move your way to the front. But congratulations, Jonathan Cofield, on winning the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award take a look at the race analysis as we get ready to go green here. Big setup here tonight, 115 laps. That is a lot of laps here at Darlington. And with cautions, it really could change the game up on what you want to do strategy-wise. 2 green-white checkers if we need them with that one faster pair. So you can afford one mistake, but that's really all that you can do. All right, well, let's see who can come away with the victory. Jonathan Cofield going to lead us down. It is so important that you manage your tires, but you have to be aggressive. You can't really ride around at this track. It just doesn't afford you to do that. 1 and 2, you have to be off throttle, back on the throttle. You can't really save tires. You got to stay in it. So you have to make sure that you don't slide the rear end and don't be too hard on the right front in 3 and 4. It's all going to be extremely important tonight. Going to be a tough race for some. But coming down to the green flag, Jonathan Cofield got to take the green flag. We're green here in the Hardline Transport Solutions Truck Series. Oh, and already wrecking. Andy Kurtz goes around Stefan, Brett Bieber. And it's a massive pileup as Aaron Adcock in that 17 Hardee's machine goes around. But, man, Andy Kurtz, I don't know if he got help or if he went around himself. But, man, that is an early wreck. Multiple people involved. Curtis Sauberin also involved. We saw just a ton of trucks there trying to make it through all that and weren't quite able to do it. Let's go back. We'll check that out in the replay real quick and see what happened to Andy as he goes down into the corner. Take a look here on the replay. Kinder Farm Ranch Wreckers Rewind on lap 1. See the 5, that black truck right in the middle. And oh, the 08 gonna get loose. Daniel Cunningham gets a little bit loose, has to check up. You see just those cold tires is the culprit. You're gonna see this. Watch the 08 right here, down in the corner. Gets a little bit loose, and when he does, Andy gets right into it. He goes around, and it's sort of just a lot of folks trying to avoid it after that. So already a caution here tonight. But we've got a throwback night. So we'll have to take a look at some of these paint schemes, and I'm not going to know all of them, but I do like the way that they look a lot of times. Look at that Kodak number 58 by Jonathan Cofield. Michael Kostic has his normal paint scheme. You see Daniel Cunningham with a cat scheme. A little surprised that normally they do some throwbacks. I may just not know what the throwback is for. I don't know. Lucas Lyon with the, looks like Jimmy Johnson look-alike. See that paint scheme? I believe that's what it is. Yeah, the Fearless Creation. You can see the Lowe's logo there. So a nice little throwback. I like that. Kinder Farm Ranch, the Big Frig 13 machine. I think that's his normal scheme. I want to say that's a throwback to something, but I'm not really sure what it is. And then look at back at the Kenneth Pack. Got the Longhorn 16 machine. I like that. That's a good looking scheme. Oh, Kenneth Pack. He's already up inside the top 10 after that. Looking good and driving good. That's a big part of it. Velocity number 6. Trying to see if I can find some of these paint schemes as we are under our first caution. The heck is this? The heck is this? Throwback to some scheme I'm not aware of, but it looks like Matt Geiss. Throwback to him. That's pretty cool. Jeremiah Holt with the mill. Oh, I like this. Boy, I hope he wins because that is a fantastic looking scheme there. I like that. And yeah. See what else we got here. It's a Superman scheme, number 7. I don't know what that's what that's from, but oh yeah, well I do know this one, Kenny Wallace. The one that I do know. Apparently, I'm no I'm no Dale Jr. Rain Man and know all the schemes and stuff that drivers have had. But Alex Veet's got a nice little 51 square D machine. I do know this one. That's a good looking scheme. The number 9's got a VSRN scheme. That's not a throwback. That's and I believe this is Kurt Busch. If y'all know who these schemes are, you want to tell me, let me know. But I believe it's Kurt Busch. Scheme for the 54 machine looks good. Deep Eddie Vaca. I don't know if that's a throwback, but that's a good looking scheme. You see right behind him, Aaron Adcock's got the Hardy scheme. You can't miss that one. Stephon Davis started up inside the top 10 and gets wrecked first lap. Just frustrating, but I bet we'll see him up towards the front. Really cool scheme for Tommy Osborne. Alan Nash always has a throwback scheme with that Winn-Dixie, so we'll see who can make their way to the front. But, yeah, a lot of cool schemes out there tonight. Appreciate everybody being involved and doing something up nice. Getting ready to go green here after that first lap spin by Andy Kurtz. Green flag is out. Jonathan Cofield going to have a nice little restart here. We'll see if we can get through this first lap. Side by side, you see Garrett Kinder, Lucas Lyons as they run side by side, and Lucas Lyons going to get loose off the corner. Almost had the 13 clear, but didn't quite get it done, and he's going to get extremely loose. That's going to allow the 13 to get to his outside. Let's see if he can complete that pass. Looks like everybody's getting through pretty solid here on this one, so everything is good to go. Got some people falling back. Josh Lokovitz falling back, losing a ton of spots there. Oh, you see the 99 of Brandon Wallace gets loose. So and Mike V in the wall. No caution. We stay green. Oh, and it comes back up and hits Stephon Davis. He's down on the apron right now. He's going to come back up on the track. I mean, apparently just wasn't paying attention. Came back on the track and hit Stephon Davis. So Davis has gotten a lot of damage repair, but is going to get another donut on that 60 machine. We'll go back up front, though. Watching some of these battles. There'll be battles going on all over the track, but we got a battle here for the third position as Tracy Passons on the back bumper of the 08 of Daniel Cunningham. As you see, Jonathan Cofield already caught up to Gary Wright. Put him a lap down. Look at the difference sometimes. Just some folks just are nervous about this track. I'm telling you, it is a tough track to really take on, man. And look, I mean, just you can see just how quickly Gary Wright goes a lap down. We'll go on board. I'll give you a lap here, Jonathan Cofield, and we'll see what it takes to get around this track. You see just how on the razor's edge he is, using that steering wheel to kind of bounce that car back and forth to get it from off the corner. Drive in on the outside, stay above that seam, get on the brakes, get your right sides on the top seam, then stomping full throttle from the middle on out. And watch this 1 to 2. If you've never seen it, this is what it looks like going into turn 1 in Darlington. Down the bottom, full throttle. He is full throttle right here, getting right up to the wall, and then trying to use the steering wheel to point the car down while keeping the throttle at 100%. At this point, the tires are up to temp, so you can really get with it. And he is doing a great job of that. I mean, that's exactly how you drive this track, and you do it fast. You see Costick trying to hold on and stay with him, but Cofield already setting a blistering pace. It looks like Stephon Davis and Alan Nash make a little contact here. And I'm sure Stephon Davis not really happy at this moment. I mean, you can see they're both really slow. Alan Nash really struggling here as he's going to get passed by a bunch of drivers. So I don't know what's going on with the 27. But he is going to fall all the way back to the 23rd position. Just been a tough We've seen all kinds of guys. Brett Bieber's having trouble. I mean, it's been a wild race. See, here comes Alan Nash on pit road. And let's go take a look and see in the picture-in-picture maybe what happened to the 27 and Stephon Davis. You can see just a sort of a checkup here as Brandon Wallace down on the bottom, and they come off the corner, and oh, man, he gets into the wall, gets into Stephon Davis again. Well, I tell you what, Stephon Davis ain't coming back. I'm going to tell you that right now. I would be so darn pissed as he has been involved in almost everything tonight. But if I know Davis like I do, he's got a lot of fans in the chat. Be cheering him on. He can go down and get some damage fixed, maybe get that fast repair. I bet we see Stephon Davis back up front. We got a battle, though, for third place. Tracy Parsons gets the run on Daniel Cunningham and will take over the third spot. Tracy up into the podium position. We'll try to track down these top two Bandit Motorsports drivers that have really kind of stepped away from the field at this point. See the gap already. Jonathan Gofield, Tracy Parsons 2.5 seconds back. That's the way it works in real life too. The front and the leaders. Oh my goodness! This man, Lucas Lyon, was really out of shape as he is under fire here from Kenneth Pack. Let's watch. Look down to the inside into turn one. That's a tough place to make a pass. And Darlington is one of those places where, man, you really, you hope that you made a lot of friends. I think that's the point here at this track is you hope you made a lot of friends, a lot of people that respect you to be able to give you that spot if they're willing to, because it is so difficult to make a move. You see Garrett Kinder sideways. Like old times. I like it. Ain't nothing changed. But, yeah, I mean, you really have to help facilitate the pass. I mean, somebody gets to the inside of you. It's so tough, especially in turn 1 and 2, to make that move side by side. And you see Kenneth Pack tried to do it, just could not do it. The trick, I think, is to try to get the run off of the corner and beat to the inside right on the exit. I think if you try to get to the person right at the entry of the next corner, I think you'll be in trouble. You'll have to go to the inside, and the top side is pretty strong on both ends. So it's important that you get the run, you time the run on the exit of the corner. You see Kenneth Pack already struggling with that right front. Going to try to block the 13. The 13 actually going to let him go. Smart move there by the 16. But, yeah, you really have to time that. You know, that's where the drivers make such a big, good drivers make a big difference here, is you really have to time that pass as you're coming off the corner to get fully side by side. That's really what you need to do. And Alex Veith's slow on the track. Looks like he is coming down pit road. Must have had some contact with somebody. So the Veith clan having a little bit of trouble here early on. Look here on the picture-in-picture exactly what happened to Alex. Goes down to the bottom. I think he was trying to let Curtis go, and they make a little bit of contact. Not really sure what's going on with the 51. He's driving down on the apron, so trouble for the 51. Not quite sure what happened. I think he might have made contact a little bit earlier. Trying to go back and find that for you. Here we go. Got Curtis Sobering coming off of the corner here. It may be what's going on with Alex Veith. He may have some damage. See right there. Oh, yeah. Alex just gets into the wall, and Curtis really nowhere to go, I think. Yeah, Alex gets loose. Yeah. So no fault of anybody's there. Alex just gets a little bit loose. Back up front, Jonathan Cofield with a 1.4 second lead over Michael Kostick here in the second position. So they have pulled away by quite a bit. We've got Tracy Parsons and Daniel Cunningham. Tracy got around Daniel just not too long ago, but Daniel has not let him get away. As You see Tracy getting the wall. Here comes the pass. Daniel Cunningham going to go right back by him and take back that third position. But back here, I mean, Lucas Lyon right now, we saw Kenneth Pack try to get around him. I don't know what happened to the 13. Garrett Kinder has had some sort of trouble. It's going to be hard for me to show everybody's trouble that they have here tonight. But Garrett Kinder had some sort of issue and falls back. I'll try to give you as much of the replay as we can. Here we go, picture in picture. Watches. Garrett's going to go down the wall. He's got the 25 on the inside. Gasses it up and just gets a little bit loose, gets into the wall. And the 13 is going to lose a ton of spots after that. But looks like Lucas, I mean, there are probably 5 or 6 drivers kind of hung out behind Lucas trying to maybe get around him. They seem a little bit faster, but they're not able to make the pass. So if you could see my timing screen, you know, yellow means that somebody's within, you know, a tenth. Oh, here we go. Kenneth Pack down to the inside. Let's see if he can make this work. Lucas has been very, very strong, but actually backs off just a little bit to allow him to have the position. Actually smart driving by Lucas as he lets him go and tries to make sure he doesn't lose any more spots. I think that's a really smart move by Lucas. He knew the pass was coming, helped facilitate it, but got back in line so he doesn't lose any more spots. And here comes Travis Bieber in that 114. Goes a nice, clean pass around Tyler Rice, who is up 4 spots when he started. Another mover, big mover, is Charles Stevens right behind him. So look at this group of drivers. You can just see how much fun this track is. Oh, it looks like Lucas is going to get into the wall. Lucas is going to lose a ton of spots there. As he continues to lose spots, you see how quickly this track can chew you up and spit you out as he goes from 5th a couple laps ago all the way back to 11th. So we've seen that out of a couple drivers here tonight. And so Lucas Lyon is going to fall all the way back. Got a slow car here on the bottom. Looks like Jeremiah Holt has made some contact. He is coming down pit road right now. Oh, Tyler Rice having some trouble. My goodness. It's just so hard for me to explain if you're not familiar with iRacing exactly how tough this track is. I mean, it requires constant, just 100% focus. And right now, it is chewing these guys up at the moment. As Tyler Rice had a really great starting spot and is now falling back to the 11th position. But it's tough, man. It's so tough, and you've got 115 laps to figure it out. And it just requires so much focus. It's on the bleeding edge, like right here. It's so hard to get this truck to turn right in the middle of that corner. And then you don't really have enough horsepower to drive it up off the corner. And then going down in 1 and 2, you really drive it deep down in the corner. So you have to continue to drive this corner the same almost the whole time. So it just, if you're not paying attention, you'll forget where you are on the track. And heaven forbid if you forget what turn you're in, you drive into 3 and 4 like 1 and 2, and you'll just end up plowing into the wall. So tires are starting to wear. The ends really change up as tires start wearing. 1 and 2 gets really loose, and 3 and 4 gets really tight. So just tough to deal with. Tyler Rice gets it back rolling. Check this little battle up front. Right up here is Charles Stevens has a problem. Here comes Garrett Kinder back up into the top 10 after he made his little contact with the wall. Gonna get right up to the wall again, and you see he gasses it up. It rotates that truck to get it off the corner and not make contact again. He's able to take over the 7th spot. Charles Stevens gets back to him, but I think the 13 has that spot. So caution's going to be tough to get those here tonight, as and we really, the Darlington, especially if you spin out down on the bottom out of the racing groove, The racing groove, you see a lot of asphalt here, but the racing groove is right here at this white line. You see where they're entering right there in that little white dotted line. That's the racing groove. If you spin out and go down to the bottom, it's likely you're not going to have a caution. So we've already seen a couple wrecks. You see Garrett Kinder get extremely loose back there. He is, man, I love it. Let's ride on board with Garrett. Garrett offering us that high-quality entertainment. Look at that wheel. He has tore up that right rear. He is begging for a pit stop. Got a couple of people coming down pit road. But watch this. Watch this wheel. They see that tape right in the middle. He is good right here, but watch him as he comes off the corner. Look at that truck. Oh, it's going around. I mean, he is wrecking. I cannot explain to you how tough that is what he's doing and able to keep going forward. That right rear is not happy. Him. Got a top 10 driver coming down pit road here on lap 34, and Kenneth Pack gonna give up a few positions and come down pit road, and there is a lot of fall off here tonight. We're looking at almost 2 seconds of fall off here after just 34 laps. I mean, it's a big difference. So these guys can come down, take their sets of tires. They definitely want to do that as soon as possible and get back out there. They have 4 tire sets in the race, so they have 3 that they can put on here. This is Kenneth Pack's second set, so they'll have 2 more. Have to be thinking about that. You don't want to make that decision too early and not have a set towards the end of the race. Watching here, we got Brandon Wallace trying to keep up with Spencer Gay here. And I love showing these in-car cameras just because it's so fun to see how tough it is. I mean, just look at how much wheel he's having to put into the corner in 3 and 4. That right front is toast. He's actually going to let somebody go. I don't know if that's somebody who's gone down pit road. Tommy Osborne. And you see how he facilitated the pass. Oh, as he gets loose again off the corner. But yeah, facilitating the pass, that's super important here at Darlington. You got to almost work with each other so you don't enter in the corner. If you're going to let somebody go, let them go on the straights because it gets dangerous here. You see how much of the track Brandon's having to use. That right front is tore up. When you see that steering wheel turned all the way to the left like that, it is it's not driving good. He's being a little bit tender on that throttle. You can see just really unsure as he's gotten loose a couple times. So Brandon Wallace trying to baby that thing around. He's running 11th, so he's doing a great job. Look how much wheel he's got to put in right there. You have to slow way down all the way to 130 miles an hour. He'll get to 170, 175, sometimes 180 at the end of this straight here. Watch as he drives down to the corner. Drops down to 165, so that steering wheel going back and forth as that truck is loose. It's just moving around all over the place. Going back, check Aaron Adcock. He started in the 13th position, was involved in that lap 1 wreck, had to go all the way to the back. I mean, him and Andy Kurtz went all the way towards the back and has been fighting their way back up towards the front here. So got a lot of laps to do it. Darlington is one of those tracks that you can, if you're fast enough, you can make the difference up pretty quickly, unlike some tracks. So Aaron can definitely get it done. He's been fast all season. Get a caution definitely could help out a ton, but Hardy's truck's kind of got me hungry. Maybe I want a steak and cheese biscuit. Well, that does sound good. Man. Got people coming down pit road. Pit road getting wide open. You see Daniel Cunningham's going to give up a top 5 running spot to come down pit road. Got Garrett Kinder down on pit road as well, along with Mickey Isaac, Charles Stevens Jr. So pit road definitely getting wide open, and expect to see these guys come down at some point. Now, up front, it is still Jonathan Cofield. I know we haven't been talking about him too much, but Michael Kostick is here at the end of this run, starting to run him down. As you see, they're getting passed up. Brett Bieber, they're going around the 8 with those fresh tires. So Brett's come down pit road and gotten his 4 tires. Drives right on by, but Michael Kostick has not allowed Jonathan Cofield to get away. And, oh, Kostick gets into the wall there. So a little bit of contact. I wonder if it doesn't make him come down pit road almost immediately. He loses a ton of time. That's exactly what he does. Makes that contact, doesn't even think about it. Let's come down pit road and get 4 tires of fuel and maybe a fast repair if I need it. So Kostick comes down pit road. We'll see if he uses that fast repair or if he elects just to. The hit on the wall didn't look too bad, so we'll see if he uses that fast repair here. Does not, so but hang on to it. Here comes your leader, though. Jonathan Cofield comes down pit road and bring that 58 machine out of the lead and make his first green flag pit stop of the night. And we've got a lot of fast repairs. And a couple drivers already out of the race. Jeremiah Holt is out of this race. Mike Veith out. Alan Nash out as well. So all 3 of those drivers gone from this race. As far as fast repairs, Daniel Cunningham used his fast repair on that stop. So some contact may have been enough that it was affecting the handling of the truck. Comes down pit road to get that fixed. So Tyler Rice, Charles Stevens, and Aaron Adcock have all used their fast repair. Brett Bieber, Andy Kurtz, Stephon Davis, all fast repair been used up. So going to be interesting. Now, coming out of pit road, Lucas Lyons still has not to come down pit road, so he has the lead. And Kenneth Pack, after pitting 10 laps ago, he will assume the lead, but not for long. That as man, look here. Well, I was thinking about Kenneth Pack so much that Michael Kostick was able to get out in front of Jonathan Cofield here on that green flag cycle. So the undercut worked out for Kostick, and I expect to see him get. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a tight fit right here. It's 21. And Kenneth Pack knows that he has 10 lap older tires, so he will let those 2 go. But Michael Kostick with a great stop, a great decision, comes out ahead. I mean, he made contact with the wall, so, you know, he gotten in trouble, but you see immediately comes down pit road, sort of negates that. So right now, I mean, Kostick was really good on the long run. We saw Cofield kind of pull away, so I wonder how aggressive Cofield is going to be to try to get around his teammate, knowing that Kostick really had him on the long run. He needed that little gap that he had built. Definitely being aggressive. But you see, you got lap traffic up in front. That's Josh Lokovitz, who's 5 laps down, kind of struggling here tonight in that 79 machine. Let those 2 go. So you see lap traffic going to make it difficult to really decide when to make that pass. And Kostick not going to make it easy either. Still waiting on Lucas to come down pit road. He's still scored your leader in that 25 truck. Really hoping for a caution. Seeing a lot of people have issues. Here he comes. 25 going to come down pit road now. And that 25 going to get 4 tires and fuel. He'll have lost a lot of time. I mean, these guys are lapping 2.5 seconds faster than him, but he will have some really. We'll have the freshest tires out of the whole field and be able to drive up through it, hopefully. Kostick Cofield going to take over the lead, and man, look at them. Bumper to bumper. They've got a 2-second lead now over Kenneth Pack as Cofield is really putting pressure on the 8 here. They'll look down to the inside. I wonder if Kostick just doesn't let him go. Kostick was good on the long run, so I wonder if he is okay with it. He was starting to run him down a little bit towards the end of that run. So, I mean, it's already been a net positive for Kostic. Going to let him go a little bit if he continues that trend, as he's already caught the 21 again. As Cofield's going to get into the wall as he goes around the lap truck. Allows Kostic to get right back to his back bumper. Now it looks like they're starting to settle down. Kostic falls back just a little bit. So Cofield will reassume the lead and start to pull away a little bit, but I wonder if Kostic, that long run speed, is going to be able to make it up at the end of this run. We'll find out. Cunningham has run down the 16 of Kenneth Pack. Kenneth still, he's 17 laps when he pitted. He was one of the first to come down pit road, and so Cunningham probably going to get around him without much trouble. I'm not really sure what happened to Aaron Adcock. He's back in the 20th position. He's 2 laps down that 17 machine, so I'm not really sure what happened to him. We were just talking about him not too long ago. I don't know if he had made some contact, had to come back down pit road. He's going to make contact with Gary right there. So even more contact, so more trouble for the 17 machine. Comes back on track, but oh my gosh, as he gets run over by, oh my goodness, and Lord have mercy. What a mess of a turn there, as everybody kind of going all over the place as 17 was trying to get everything caught up. And it seemed like everywhere he went, there was going to be a truck that was going to hit him. Good gosh. So it goes from bad to worse for the 17. Is got some damage here. Let's go back and look at that again here on the replay. That was crazy. Let's see him after that contact with the 21 trying to come back out on the track. And he comes out in front, and Stephon Davis was trying to avoid him and goes down. Go see if we can look at Stephon Davis's point of view here. It just comes up right. I mean, Stephon was trying to make a pass there on the 08, and the 17 was there. So, my goodness, that was a mess of a lap for the 17. Definitely not what you want to see. Right up in front of him, though, is a battle for the 9th position as Tyler Rice under fire from Charles Stevens Jr. Tyler has about 7 lap older tires than that 88 machine, so Charles really putting the pressure on him here. We had about 7 webcams before we started the race. We're down to 4, so it's been a tough night. Kyle Roberts already called it quits. And see Charles Stevens was able to get around that number 6 machine, move himself further into the top 10. So let's talk about our big movers right now and just kind of go through the field as everything is sort of spreading out a little bit. But right now, Kenneth Pack has been one of the bigger movers inside the top 10. And of course, it's easy to come from, 25th sometimes and miss a couple wrecks and make up a ton of spots. But inside the top 10, it gets harder and harder. So, 6 spots inside the top 10 is way more impressive sometimes than, 12 spots in the top 30. So Kenneth Pack moving up through the field. Now he does have the advantage of those newer tires, or the older tires, when he pitted early, so he's going to fall back a little bit further, but good pit strategy. He's been fast all night long. Travis Beaver also from 11th to 5th, and he is knocking on the door of this 16 machine. Again, just has fresher tires and able to run him down pretty quickly. So I think we'll see Travis Beaver make the move to get into that 4th position pretty quickly. But James Nelson, the other biggest mover, he's currently the biggest mover of the race. Started 21st. He's running in the 8th position. So impressive run for this 7 machine. So driving a little bit like Superman at the moment. Oh, as he gets loose up off the corner. See a little bit of damage to that right front, so he hasn't had a totally clean race, but I don't think anybody will at the end of this thing. And see Aaron Adcock trying to make up some time. He is 2 laps down at the moment. This is not a pass for position. But great run by James Nelson, because now he's going to have Charles Stevens to contend with another big mover who has moved up into the top 10 from the 16th starting spot. Watch this battle as he get a run here on James Nelson. She's going to get to the outside here. It's a tricky spot to try to make a pass, but he's going to get the run, the momentum, and I think James Nelson did the smart thing and just said, hey, I'm going to let you go here. I don't want to try to hold you up. Definitely seemed like you're a little bit faster, and exactly right. Now, James Nelson, on the same strategy sort of as Kenneth Pack, so he is able to make up some spots there on that green flag pit stop cycle. I mean, like I said, the difference between new tires and old tires is about 2.5 seconds. That's a lot after just 30 laps. So if you pit early, you can really make up some spots. As James Nelson now coming back down pit road, and this will be his 3rd set. So he is trying to split it up, and he is going to have to take his final set with about less than 30 laps to go, and will not have an extra one for a green-white checker. But it's a good strategy. It's been working out here for him so far, and he is headed down pit road now. Expect to see those others like Kenneth Pack follow him shortly. Now, a couple drivers have been having tough nights tonight. Lucas Lyon, we saw him up front at the beginning of the race, and has been struggling ever since. He's had to use his faster pair already. We saw him make contact with Aaron Adcock there when Aaron got a little bit loose. And so Lucas back into the 19th position, 2 laps down. We've got quite a few drivers 2 laps down. Tommy Osborne, 2 laps down. Aaron Adcock, Gary Wright, Matt Knights, Alex Veith. Those drivers 3 and 4 laps down. So some guys really struggling at the moment. Now, as far as recoveries go, this doesn't surprise me really at all, but Andy Kurtz started in the 5th position and is running 10th. But if you recall, he was the reason for that caution on lap 1. I mean, it was really a, oh my goodness, as Tyler Rice clobbers the wall there. But he got little some loose. Daniel Cunningham gets loose in front of him. He gets into the back of him, kind of gets run over from behind, and he spins out, goes all the way around, and goes all the way to the back of the field. So Andy Kurtz is driven from the back all the way back into the top 10 under green. So Andy is really moving at the moment. Now it gets more and more difficult once you get inside that top 10. He's 25 seconds back from the leader, and that at 31-second laps that Jonathan Cofield's running, he's in danger of going a lap down here. So Andy would love to see a caution of some sort. A lot of these drivers would, I'm going to be honest. And Tyler Rice currently at the moment would love to see that, as you saw him get into the wall, and you can see right behind him, that's your leader. You almost kind of want to think, man, if I got a caution button, I might just accidentally hit it at this point and bring the caution out. But it's like it's just a matter of time before that 58 truck gets around him, who is now 2 seconds ahead of Michael Kostick. So Cofield doing a little bit better this time around on this longer run. They're 24 laps into this one, so we'll see in about 10 laps if that starts to fade. But he has been really strong. And this is the biggest lead of the night. Tyler Rice gets into the wall, trying to let him go. And you can see on his face just like, ugh, that sucks. And he's got some big damage to that 6. And I think I heard him say, I'm done, as he is coming down pit road. He's already used that faster pair. I think he was just trying to let the 58 go and get up out of the groove. When you do that at Darlington, it is just, it's tough. There's really nothing you can do at that point. So Tyler Rice, who was having such a great race now gonna come down pit road. See how many repairs he needs. We'll take a look at it again. You can see 58 was coming, but just not able to get that truck turned. You see he tried to stop, slow down, but it's just too late at that point. It really clobbers the wall. Caution is out. Caution is out. As Aaron Adcock's slow, multiple drivers involved. Matt Knight's involved. Slow on the track. I don't know why Matt's not showing up on the driver info, but Matt Knight's slow on the track and looks like some contact. And caution comes out. Oh, and if you're Tyler Rice, you've got to be just kicking yourself right now as, man, that was what he was waiting on and needed. And here we go. Here is the reason for the caution here on the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. And it started with Matt Knights and Gary Wright here. And I think Matt's going to not be quite ready for what Gary's going to do. He's going to check up. He really has to get, he gets into the wall, comes back down. The 17 gets into him, and he spins out into that racing groove. Oh, and Charles Stevens makes contact there at the end of it. Watch this. Just rolls back down the track. I mean, there's nothing you can say. You know, I hear it all the time. Well, why don't you just hold your brakes? Well, hell, you can't hold the brakes. It's going to slide down the track. I mean, there's nothing you can do. He could be holding the brakes. It's not going to stop that truck from sliding down the track. And honestly, if you're Matt Knight, you're just trying to get off the racing surface so this doesn't happen. It's really hard when you're wrecking to be thinking about other people as you're wrecking around the track. So just a tough deal there for Charles Stevens, and I believe he had already used his fast repair. He did, so. Man, oh man. Well, it gets caught up here. A couple drivers have gone down pit road and gotten their second, or what would be, I think, third set of tires now out of 4. As Charles Stevens going to assume the lead is going to come down pit road. He's going to have probably a lot of damage to fix on the front end of that 88 machine. I mean, everybody has made some sort of contact with the wall. I can't think of one driver that hasn't yet. Now, I haven't seen everybody, but everybody's been loose, gotten into the wall a little bit, made some contact, and that's why we love Darlington, because it is, I mean, when you're trying to see drivers at their, you know, at their best, or if you're trying to see what drivers are made of, this track is, I mean, it throws everything at you, and sometimes the kitchen sink, and these guys have been really battling here tonight. I mean, it's been a relatively clean race, a lot of green flag running, but just single car accidents, single car, you know, bouncing off the wall, making contact with each other, half spins, getting loose, contact with the wall, knocking the right front off, and then there's some contact that actually brings out the caution. So we've seen a lot of stuff going on tonight. It's really testing these drivers, and you know, I think the weather's fine. I mean, only 80 degrees the night race, so that usually gives you plenty of grip. So they have, it's not too bad. They're not just really sliding all over the place. They're just using the track. You know, the track's really makes you want to lean on that right rear off the corner. That way you have that speed that you need, and that can make it tough sometimes. So Cofield's going to lead us down under this caution. Everybody comes down pit road. Your top 10: Jonathan Cofield, Michael Kostick, Daniel Cunningham, Travis Bieber, Garrett Kinder back into the top 5 now. Kenneth Pack, Tracy Passons, Andy Kurtz in that 8th position. Mickey Isaac and Brandon Wallace rounds out the top 10 here. Getting ready for this restart, which is good for some folks. I mean, somebody like Andy Kurtz, who, man, really needed that caution. He was almost about to go a lap down after that lap 1 spin, having to start from the back there. He's going to get caught back up. He's going to be inside the top 10, and he's going to be able to set his sights forward, try to get a little bit better finishing position. I really feel for Tyler Rice is who I really feel for, because he was going to get that lucky dog most likely, and because hitting that wall and having to come down pit road, he is now a couple of laps down. Here we go, restart here on lap 73, coming to lap 74. Jonathan Cofield's going to have control of the restart. Going to get a great jump as they go down into turn 1. See Cunningham maybe looking down to the inside of Caustic, but elects to see everybody get single file right into turn 1. That's what you want to do. You lose a lot of speed if you don't. On board with Andy Kurtz is going to take a little dive down here. Have to be careful about these cold tires. It's a very scary place to try to do this here. But he's got great throttle control as he comes off the corner. Side by side. See if he can make the pass. Not quite able to do it. I think Tracy will be able to drive it down in there. Boy, look at him. Real close. Andy's going to have to get back in line. He's going to lose some momentum back to Mickey Isaac. But Garrett Kinder now goes around the 114, and Travis Bieber moves himself back up into the, oh, he's going to get loose. Oh, he gets loose and goes back down the track. He's going to come back up and hold on to the spot. Well, if I tell you what, that, not a lot of people could do that. It's almost like the pass in the grass. He goes down, gets loose down on the front stretch, comes back up and maintains that spot. Something only maybe Garrett Kinder can do. I don't know. Going to lose a little bit of time, but as those tires start to get warmed up, you'll have a little bit more grip to work with early on in the run. First 5 laps, you have to be careful. It will step out as the tires have not heated up to their optimal temperature. Travis Bieber, they're going to lead this little pack here of 4 drivers, as this is where the dogfight's going to be, as Kenneth Pack has to get off the throttle there on the exit to not run into the wall. Oh, my goodness. And checks up to allow Tracy Passes to get by, but that's going to allow Andy Kurtz to take that spot as well. So close racing here at Darlington on this restart. And I'll tell you what, Andy Kurtz is on a mission. He is very good at this track. I think he's probably a favorite to win before that lap 1 spin. And he's got a little bit of resurgency here with that caution. He's got just 3 seconds back from the leader, Jonathan Cofield. So he has got a much better position here. He's able to take that spot, and he's working. And look how much that momentum works on the top side. He gets a huge run here on Tracy. Tracy kind of halfway blocks, trying to keep him from getting down to the inside. But Andy going to look down there. Tracy going to gas it up. He should have the momentum on that top side to hold on to it. But Andy is still there. This is tough, tough, tough off the corner. And you see Tracy really having to put the throttle in and get it to rotate off the corner to make that work. Is you really want that bottom on exit, especially if you're on the top side. So Andy really being aggressive is, oh my goodness, Stephon Davis. More contact with Brett Bieber. No caution, we stay green, but Stephon Davis again. Contact again. We'll see. We'll go back and look at that here on the picture-in-picture. But I tell you what, Stephon Davis has had a race to forget. We'll take a look right here. You see Brett Bieber there on the outside. This is off of turn 4 here, and they just come together off of 4. It's just a tight spot to be side by side. Can't hardly do it. You're going to see Stephon Davis coming down pit road. And I tell you what, that's going to be the No Neck Fast Repair Hard Luck Award winner. Or excuse me, the Andy Kurtz Hard Luck Award winner, Stephon Davis. Just been like a pinball out there. And I think that might have been, a little bit on him. But outside of that, all of the issues he's had has been just sort of happenstance. And that's been sort of his thing all season long. Been really fast, especially at short tracks, but just can't seem to get away from the trouble. And, at some point, you got to say, is it me? Am I somehow inviting the trouble? And what can I do to adjust my driving and my racecraft to try to avoid these wrecks? Sometimes there's just nothing you can do, but sometimes you wonder, just got just a bad luck cloud over Stephon Davis's head. Hopefully he can get that fixed up before the playoffs, because I'll tell you what, he's going to be a dangerous driver if he can complete and finish some of these races. Watching Tracy Passons. Andy Kurtz has moved up into the 6th spot. Now it's got to run on his teammate. The 114 is going to look down to the inside. See, Andy's got a lot of drive through the middle of the corner and seems to be able to work that truck a little bit better than most folks. 13 laps, so tires are going to start to wear, but you see Andy able to really make passes that a lot of folks haven't been able to do. And now he's 4 seconds back from the lead. I would imagine he's going to need another caution or a really, really good pit stop, one of the two. But I tell you what, if a caution comes out, I'm definitely going to be worried about this 5 truck because he has really recovered. I mean, really a fantastic recovery. A lot of guys have gone to the back and not been able to really get back up to the front, just had more and more trouble. But Andy Kurt's been able to avoid most things and now inside the top 5 again. And as far as lap times go, I mean, Jonathan Cofield, Michael Kosick running 30.2s. For everybody else, Daniel Cunningham, Garrett Kinder running 30.4s. Andy Kurt's 30.7. Really having to use his tires to get by these folks. We'll see if he crosses the line here. He's running a 30.5. So the front two really are on an island by themselves. Then you got Daniel Cunningham and Garrett Kinder sort of running similar lap times. And just sort of starts to taper off from there. But I mean, great race so far. Yeah, we've had some issues. Stephon Davis calls it a night, and look, I don't blame you if you're Stephon. That has been just a nightmare of a night, and wants to call it quits. Frustrating. I know if I'm the 60, I'm frustrated. Over the last few weeks, I feel like I've been used up, and that usually changes the driver sometimes. I tell you what, I can remember back to a league I used to run about 10 years ago. I remember I was always battling this one guy for a lead, and for the race wins, and he would always kind of bump me at the end of the races and move me up out of the way and put me into the wall or whatever. And it was always trying to be nice and say, okay, that's fine, And finally, after about 3 or 4 races like that, I got tired of it and said, you know what? I'm going to change the way I race this week. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be aggressive and I'm going to not give an inch. And got the opportunity at the last lap to drive in there and give him a little bump, move him out of the way. And I got to say, after that many weeks of being drove like that, I don't normally like to race that way, but it sure did feel good. So Stephon Davis may come back with a whole different attitude next week and say, hey, look, guys, I'm coming in here. I'm gonna whip y'all's butts. But I suspect the Homestead, I'm sure he'll be really good. But we get to Richmond, I'm looking at that 60. I just can't wait to see if he can get a win. Watching Travis Bieber. Andy Kurtz gets around him, but not quite able to pull away, as they're still 3/10 off of the leaders at this moment. And just these two up front have really put down some lap times. And right now, here we go. At the end of this run, Kosick is coming back on his teammate just ever so slightly. See how much he closes there on entry. About 2/10 faster than last lap. So you're at the line. About half a tenth faster there, so he is closing every single lap. The problem is they're going to have to pit soon. So, Kosick's going to have to dig down deep and find some of that short run speed, I think, because while he is catching Cofield, Cofield's going to get saved by this pit stop. He's going to come back out with those fresh tires. And at this point, we're only going to have about 20 laps to go. I just don't think that Kosick is going to be able to make this sort of run. So something to think about if you're Kosick. You got to be thinking, I've got to dig down deep, find some of that short run speed if I'm going to contend for this win. He's definitely fast here later in the runs. Watching Garrett Kinder under fire from Kenneth Pack. He was trying to get to Travis Bieber's back bumper, but here comes Kenneth Pack down to the inside. They're going to battle here. Just a little over 20 laps to go, and the 13 is going to get to the wall, and Kenneth Pack going to slide up in front of him and take over the 6th position. 22 laps, and already you could see Guys really struggling, especially side by side, just trying to get those tires to grip up when you're not able to use the line. And it's just sort of an inner low, slide up high, exit low, and you're not able to do that once the tires start to wear. And you can see Garrett Kendrick now going to get up into the wall again, just a slight tap there in the middle of 3 and 4. Well, this is going to be the money stop. If you're up front, Schofield's going to run as long as he can. No real need for him to come down pit road and put him in a position where caution comes out and gets trapped. As we go back and look at this battle between teammates, is Travis Bieber all over the back end of Andy Kurt's going to get a run here. That's the perfect pass. And I know Andy's going to give him the spot, but man, I tell you what, Travis could not have done that any better. See the run he got. He got the run. He was closing right as it come off the corner and gave him that inside track. And Andy really couldn't do anything with it at that point. So, great job there by Travis Bieber. That was a textbook pass here at Darlington. But when people are going to come down pit road, that's going to be the question here. Schofield, as long as the top 5 really hasn't come down pit road, there's no need for him to and get caught behind a caution like I was saying before that, as that would be pretty detrimental because some guys are going to stay out as long as they possibly can. But, if Michael Kostick comes down pit road, Daniel Cunningham, Bieber, Kurtz, if they come down pit road, it's going to be tough for Schofield to stay out any longer. That'll pretty much be a surefire sign to come down pit road now. So we'll see when they pull the trigger. Got a Hornets nest up here as Tracy Passons, Mickey Isaac, and Brandon Wallace battling it out. We got a white truck there that's kind of stuck in the middle of it all. Oh, that's Aaron Adcock, 17 machine. But both these drivers right here, Mickey Isaac, Brandon Wallace, they've had really good races. They both made up 8 spots. They're running solidly inside the top 10 and looking to have some pretty good finishes here as they're both kind of moving forward. Got good lap times here at the end of this thing. Tracy starting to fall off just a little bit. Mickey's a little bit faster than Tracy here. But these two, Mickey and Brandon, they've had a fantastic race. Up 8 spots from where they started. As soon as I say something, Mickey Isaac gets into the wall. So man, this has been one of the better Darlington races, and I love that Darlington only throws cautions for the for folks inside the racing line. Overall, it's been a lot of green flag racing here. Mickey Isaac trying to run down Tracy Passons here. Tracy and Mickey have been kind of going back and forth to see Lucas Lyon, who's come down pit road. Lucas in the 19th position, 3 laps down. But they've been trading lap times back and forth, Mickey and Tracy. Did a great job of letting Lucas get by at just the right time. And but here comes Brandon Wallace. Brandon Wallace gets a nice run, and Mickey's getting a run here on Tracy. So a nice little 3-way battle. And I'm starting to think that we can make it on fuel. I'm starting to think that I thought there might be one more stop, but Yeah, maybe I'm one of those clueless broadcasters who haven't been paying attention to the runs, but everybody's been pitting around lap 33 or so. But it looks like with just over 12 laps to go, I don't think we're going to see any more pit stops from these guys. So this battle for the lead is definitely going to be something to talk about here. I wondered if Caustic, if they're going to come down pit road, he's going to have the short run speed needed, but this is going to play right into his hands, as he's been really, really fast at this point, a lot faster than Cofield. Now, you know, catching him and passing him is going to be two completely different things. He's running out of time. He's going to have to quickly make up this time, but he's already racing on the bleeding edge, and you really can't push it. You know, the thing about Darlington will not allow you to drive harder. You have to drive where on the limit the whole freaking time. And that's what these two have been doing all race. So he's got to just take what the car gives him, what the track gives him, and just try to keep the momentum up. Push the throttle any harder, you get loose, you lose the run off the corner, and you lose all of your advantage that you might have built up, and you can easily lose 3 or 4 tenths in one lap here just by missing the exit of the corner. So, but he is getting close. Last lap, a little bit faster, almost a tenth faster. Caustic was, as he's starting to put the pressure here on your leader, Jonathan Cofield. So teammates going to be battling it out here with 10 laps to go. Who is going to win this race at Darlington? This is one that you want to win, that's for sure. I think we could safely say nobody's coming down pit road, so this is the battle right here. Now, caution can change everything. We do have 2 green-white checkered, so if caution does come out, that'll change the complexion of this race. But right now, this is your battle, and there is contact. Oh, they're wrecking down the back stretch. Garrett Kinder, Tracy passes as Tracy comes back up on the track and makes contact as you just sort of roll. He's going to turn back up in the track as cars are coming by, but caution does come out. So, sorry about that. That's my fault. Definitely a broadcaster curse there. And you see a couple of drivers battling it out. As, man, the 13 and 53 were having a great battle there. And, you know, I don't think there's anything much to say other than just these guys battling with less than 10 laps to go. Watch right here as Garrett Kinder's going to get in the wall. It's going to open the door for the 53. You see him get loose there. He goes down to the inside. Larson-like save from the 13 with the wall. So Tracy goes down to the inside, and I think Garrett's going to try the old switcheroo here. Gets to the inside of him. Gets a great run through the middle, but it's going to be tough to get the exit. Tracy comes off the bottom there trying to pass them, and they just come together, and that's just hard racing right there. It's hard to be too mad about that, as Tracy just kind of trying to get back going, makes contact, and Charles Stevens Jr. again makes contact. We'll watch on board with Charles Stevens as Tracy kind of rolling back up the track after they make contact. And I'm not going to pick sides, but man, and it's tough. It's tough. I'm gonna give Charles Stevens some credit. You don't know if that caution's going to come out. I totally get it. You're not going to go that caution, but you can hear right here. He's throttled up. He's thinking about it, and never really slows down until it's too late. So, you know, Tracy was kind of rolling up there. I mean, it's a tough call. I mean, Charles Stevens knows that the cautions may not come out here. And so that's tough. Like I said, I don't like to say whose fault or who did what, who did wrong. That's not really for me to decide. I just try to call it like I see it. And, yeah, Tracy would have been nice if he held his brakes. He kind of rolled up a little bit, but you don't know what kind of damage he had to keep him from doing that. As Cofield has a bad pit stop. I don't know what happened to the 58, but he had a terrible stop, 20 seconds. I don't know what happened to him, but I don't know if he missed his box or what happened, but he falls all the way back to the 7th place. So after leading a majority of the race, has some issues, and take a look here on the picture-in-picture and see if we see anything that went wrong. He stopped right in his box, so I don't know if he took some time to fix a little bit of damage that he might had. I don't know. But Cofield going to fall all the way back to the 7th position here with just a few laps to go, and we're going to have at least a couple more laps under caution, so we're going to be running out of time, but Kostick is going to take over the lead here. You know, and I was talking about Michael Kostick having to really struggling on the short run to deal with his teammate Jonathan Cofield, but that's no longer a factor. Is Cofield, while he is definitely fast enough to drive up through in just a few laps, I mean, it's down towards the end of the race. Nobody's giving an inch. Nobody's going to really just move over, and he's been fast, but I don't know if he's been past 6 cars in 1 lap fast, so it's going to be tough for that 58. I'm so curious if he does get back, we have an interview with him, what happened there, because he just sat there in pit road for 5-6 seconds. I don't know if he felt like he had some damage. I'm not sure. He does have a fast repair, so I'm really kind of blown away. I have no idea what happened. You know, we could probably bring him up here and talk to him. See. No, they get the 1 to green. We won't do that, but maybe we'll get that info from him at the end of the race. But he's going to be in the 4th row there. Mark Cofield in chat says he overfueled, but that can't imagine that's going to gain him 6 seconds, so I'm not real sure. You know, what I see may not really be, you know, totally what the actual stop was, but I mean, compared to everybody else, he was 6 seconds. There's no way he got 6 more seconds of fuel than everybody, because a 20-second stop is extremely slow. So getting ready to go green here. Michael Kostick, Daniel Cunningham going to be side by side on this restart. Who is going to come away with the victory? 4 laps to go when we take the green flag. Kostick going to hold him in the box. Green flag is out. Kostick gets away. Does he have the short run speed, or does somebody have that to go up there and take it from him? Daniel Cunningham's going to get away. Got to watch those cold tires. Could easily have a caution really quickly. Here comes Cunningham. Can he make the move? He does not have a good exit. Here comes Andy Kurtz to the inside of his teammate. He's going to get there, but it's going to be tough to make this move. Kurtz gasses it up, but it's going to be tough. Oh, he's trying to get the run off the corner, and he's going to complete it. So Kurtz up to 3rd place. Cofield up to 5th. They are moving quickly. Not a lot of time. Just 4 laps to go. 3 laps to go, excuse me. Here comes Andy Kurtz. He's trying to get a run off of 2 there. Trying to be aggressive here. Just not a whole lot of time. You got to do something, and here we go. Cofield up into the 4th position. 2 laps to go for Michael Kostick. I think he's got it in the bag. As long as we don't have another caution, I don't think anybody can catch him. He has got a ½ second lead, as there are some people crashing. We're going to stay up here, and I don't think we're going to get a caution. Oh, the 13 gets into the wall. Garrett Kinder, slow. Here comes Andy Kurtz down to the inside, trying to take over that 2nd position. You see how tough it is once the tires get up to tip. Cunningham's got all the grip that he needs, and that's going to pull Jonathan Cofield, but Michael Kostick, white flag is out here at Darlington. 1 more lap to go. Side by side, Cunningham going to lose that spot. Now it's going to be a battle for 2nd as Cofield up to 3rd place. Travis Bieber gets into the wall a little bit. They're going to go down into turn 3 and 4 side by side. Here comes Michael Kostick, though. He is going to take the win here at Darlington. Checker flag is out. We got a battle, though, for 3rd place, and Cofield's going to get it. Wow. What a great run. 7th to 3rd on that restart. Andy Kurtz able to get up there and take over that 2nd spot. So Kurtz had a whale of a race, but your winner, Michael Kostick, makes very few, if any, mistakes here tonight and takes home the victory, and that will extend his points lead out, and that will draw him even with Aaron Adcock on wins this season. That will bring him to 2. So Michael Kostick, man, what a great drive. Was in the hunt all race long. That little mistake there between Jonathan Cofield, he did finish 3rd, so we'll get to know straight from the source what happened. But Michael Kostick burns it down all in the front stretch. Oh, and somebody comes in and clobbers him there at the end. So, wow. What a race. Darlington, man, gotta love this place. It was a quick race. About an hour and 15 minutes. That's pretty good for Darlington. 115 laps. Not a lot of caution, so pretty awesome stuff. Great job from the field. That was a fun one. All right, let's take a look at the results here, and we'll see where everybody finished. And we'll get to some interviews, talk to these drivers, see what they thought about the race, and get their point of view on everything. Not too much drama that I saw. It was a lot of good, hard racing. Nobody really got mad at each other, which is, hey, look, I think that is a win at a track like this. Well, all right, Michael Kostick, Andy Kurtz, Jonathan Cofield, your top 3. Daniel Cunningham in 4th. Travis Bieber in 5th. Kenneth Pack in 6th. Brandon Wallace in 7th. 8th is Mickey Isaac. 9th is Garrett Kinder. Spencer Gay rounds out your top 10. 11th is going to be Tracy Passons. Brett Bieber in 12th. James Nelson in 13th. 14th going to be Aaron Adcock. 15th, Tommy Osborne. Curtis Sobrin in the 16th position. 17th, Lucas Lyons. Gary Wright in 18th. Matt Knight's in 19th. Alex Veith in the 20th position. 21st is Tyler Rice. Josh Lukovitz in 22nd. Charles Stevens in 23rd. Stephon Davis in 24th. Kyle Roberts in 25th. Jeremiah Holt, 26th. Alan Nash and Mike Veith round out the rest of the field. 3 cautions tonight. That's a great race, I think, at Darlington with 28 trucks. Just a bang-up job by everybody here. But let's talk to some drivers, and we're going to start with somebody who definitely disappointed. But I'm interested to hear what the reasoning was or what happened, and we'll find out straight from the source. We're going to get into the Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show. I want to thank them for sponsoring that. Let's get Jonathan Cofield into the booth and see exactly what happened. Cofield, this is Eddie. You got a copy?
Yeah, buddy, I got you.
Well, I mean, you led a majority of the race. You were extremely strong all race long. There at the end, Kostick was starting to run you down a little bit, and then that darn caution came out. And you had to come down pit road. You had to come down and get those tires. Tell me what happened there in the pit box. You took about 6 seconds longer, 5.5, than everybody else. What happened there?
Yeah, I was only about a half lap to the good. So I put 4 gallons in it, in case we had a green light checker or something. And they put 4 tires on it, put the fuel in it, and it dropped the jack, and it added 4 more gallons. So, well, I racing glitch, I guess, there. I've never had that happen to me before, but.
Oh, wow. Huh. That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. So, I mean, yeah, definitely an iRacing glitch. I was wondering. I could not figure out because we thought maybe you slid through your box or something, but no, you're perfectly in your box. And the fuel man went for a little double pump there. So, Well, I mean, I know you're disappointed. I know you felt like you had a race-winning truck, and you did. I mean, you dominated a majority of that race, and it just seemed like you were on rails. But there on that last restart, started 7th, and, sometimes anger and mad and disappointment can be a hell of a driving force as you're able to really make some moves there and get back to the 3rd position. So congratulations on that. But, tell me about your race. How was the truck out there tonight? And, Kostick a little bit faster there on the long end of those long runs, but it never really got to a point where he was able to get back to your back bumper. Talk a little bit about that truck tonight.
Yeah, I ain't never had no luck here. I think I won maybe one ARCA race here, but I seem to burn the tires off of it here somehow. I can't figure out how to save the tires. I think I drive 1 and 2 too hard. And that's where I was pulling on him, and he was doing something in 3-4 that that I couldn't do. Probably just burning my stuff up. But yeah, truck was good. Real loose. Tried to take the wall down a few times. Pretty uneventful race. And me and Costa, we was pretty much matching lap times. Trying to figure out what each other was doing. But other than that, pretty uneventful. And right up until Gasman decided he wasn't done.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm only laughing because I ain't never heard of that before. It's just crazy. So
I ain't either.
it's just the weirdest freaking thing. But of course, that caution coming out was the worst thing that could happen. I mean, we've seen, you kind of sometimes you have to toss it up to, dropping a lug nut or something like that in the real life, and so something like that happened, and that's, I guess, the dice roll was you're going to get screwed tonight, so that's what happened. But
if it's going to happen, I'm going to be the first one to find out about
it. well, you still had a great race, and you still recovered nicely, being able to pass all those cars with just a few laps to go and get that third place. So it was still a good recovery and a good finish. So congratulations to you. But tell me a little bit about this paint scheme tonight.
Yeah, I try to find something with a 58 on it, and man, I looked and looked and looked and looked, and that's old Ken Schrader. He run the 58 Kodiak, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I started on this paint scheme last season for another league and never finished it. And I still had half of it done, so I jumped in about an hour before the race started. I was like, man, I'm gonna finish this up, make it look pretty good.
Well, it definitely does look pretty good. Green, though, I don't know if you know much about short
Bad
track.
luck. I know it.
So
we're gonna blame it on the green, Eddie.
Yeah, and so that it's on you. It's your fault. You painted the green, and that's what happened. No, a great race, man. It led 103 laps, had 115. I mean, just a dominant performance. And sometimes the racing gods, they threw Darlington at you, and you beat Darlington. So they said, well, we're not gonna let him have this one, and so they went ahead and took it from you. But man, it's still a great race. Congratulations, and as always, man, who you got to thank?
Yeah, I always want to thank you and V-Speed for doing the broadcast. Matt Kleeman, Brandon Wallace, all the admins for the Rebels Racing League. Little slam this year. Y'all come on out and get your eye racing and come hang out with us. But Hardline Transport, Chuck Pegley Phelps, Hard Luck, Andy Kurtz, Kinder Farmer Ranch, and Fretful Freight Solutions for post-race show, Cofield Asphalt Finishing, Cofield Supply and Service, Teammates and Bandits. McDonald's a little under weather tonight, so kind of missing him out here.
Right. Well, there you have it. Your third place finisher, Jonathan Cofield, is what it says in Discord. But he comes home with the third place finish. But let's talk to Andy Kurtz. I mean, talk about somebody with bad luck, but I tell you what, somebody had some really good luck tonight. That's Andy Kurtz. Andy, this Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey man, gotcha.
Woo. Well, I tell you what, I mean, started off inside the top 5, and then on lap number 1, it all just goes away. And you go all the way to the back of the field, and damn it if you didn't drive all the way up inside the top 10, and had a little good luck, a little good fortune with that caution that kind of pointed you in the right direction, and then that late race caution seemed to be the perfect thing for you, as you were able to get by a couple folks there at the end and come home with second. Congratulations! But yeah, talk about your race, man. You had a tough one. It's good to qualify up front at Darlington. That makes you feel good. Then by lap 2, you were at 28. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, definitely did not start out too well. So yeah, it was just one of those races where you just gotta just keep trying and hope things fall your way, which is definitely what I needed. And got lucky with a couple cautions. Just the way everything worked out. So I didn't really know what I had and how to really race then. Once we got toward the end of the race and kind of got bunched back up, I was in the top 10. So I burned my stuff up a little bit. I got up to 5th or 4th, and luckily a caution came out again. That late race one. So kind of knew what I had, and I knew a couple laps I didn't really have to save anything. So that was a lot of fun. They're racing with everyone, but yeah, wish it could have been the whole race like that. See what I had on a long run, but looked like Cofield and Caustic were really, really good as expected. So, but yeah, it was good, all in all.
Yeah, well, that 5 machine looked pretty strong. I was looking at you, watching you. I knew you was going to come up through the field. I know Darlington's a good track for you, and you didn't disappoint. You're able to keep that truck clean. Talking a little bit about going to the back. I mean, what does that change? Whenever that happens, you kind of alluded to it already, but it's almost like you say, now the pressure's off. Now I'm all the way at the back. I can get into a big hurry. but it almost kind of makes it a little bit easier because your strategy is pretty straightforward. You don't have to worry about making any crazy strategies or anything. You just kind of go as hard as you can and pit whenever it's time to pit and hope everything works out. And that's kind of what happened. But if you're starting in the back on that restart after that spin that brought out the caution, it kind of lets those guys get spread out. Kind of makes it a little bit easier to pass, does it not?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely does. Especially when I burned my stuff up the run before. So, yeah, I was really happy to see you, get us all bunched up again. So, wasn't expecting it. It's tough. Sometimes it's tough to bring out cautions at Darlington. Just with how that all works and where people wreck and they're off the track, so cautions don't come out. So I was surprised by that, but yeah, it made for a fun finish for sure.
All right. Well, congratulations on your second place finish as always, man. Who you got to thank?
Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you as always. Doing awesome broadcast for us. This one I'm sure will be a really good one to go back and watch. Love this track in general. I want to thank everyone at Rebels for putting this on for us.
All righty. Well, there you have it. Andy Kurtz, somebody with some good luck, and that was definitely him. And then somebody that, I don't know if it's good luck or just being in the right place at the right time, and that's Michael Kostick, your winner here tonight. Led 8 laps, but I felt like he was all around the lead all race long. Long run speed, you definitely seemed to have. And honestly, you and Cofield were kind of on your own. If y'all were on a different planet tonight, y'all were just able to run sometimes 0.3 faster than the field. But both of you running close, but you were able to kind of run him down at the end of those runs. So it seemed like it was playing out in your favor. Talk a little bit about that before that caution came out. What was your plan? What was going through your mind of when and where you were going to try to make that pass for the lead?
I didn't really think about all that yet. Probably going to try to set him up off 2 and take him in 3 and 4, but he was just a little bit faster than me at 1 and 2, so I'm not sure if I could have caught him all the way. I don't know what he was doing different there, but 3 and 4, I feel I had him covered a little bit.
Well, that caution comes out, and then you have to go down pit road. There's no way you can stay out. You're just going to get eat up with the tire difference, and you come out with the lead, and you're probably thinking, what the heck happened, as your teammate has some trouble on pit roads, a weird glitch, and it kind of gives you the lead. And at that point, with just 4 laps to go, you had to feel pretty damn good about that as you got to control the restart, able to pull away. Andy Kurtz was trying his hardest to run you back down, but you had too much of a lead to make up. And able to get the win. So congratulations, man. It seemed like you and him were just extremely fast tonight. But talk a little bit about Darlington. What do you love about this track? I mean, it seems like you're always good here. What do you think separates you and Cofield and some others from, folks that really struggle here?
I'm not too sure. I'm not even a huge fan of it. I like running it, but it just gets frustrating at times. But yeah, I don't really know what I do different. I know I tend to run a little bit lower in 3 and 4. I don't know if that helps with tire wear or just keeps me safe from hitting the wall. But yeah, Cofield and Kurtz are usually always faster than me here. I'm not sure what happened to Kurtz tonight and Cofield's little pit stop. That was unfortunate because that would have been real fun to battle with him there on the last 4 laps. But I guess it's better to be lucky than good.
No doubt about it. I mean, that's racing. You've got to have skill, you've got to have preparation, and you have to have that luck. And if you don't have all 3, you're not going to win it tonight. I think you had all 3, man. You looked really fast out there, and you were able to get it done on that late race restart. So congratulations. But who you got to thank tonight?
Thank you for doing the broadcast. Matt for everything he does for the series, and Brandon for being head honcho tonight and everything else he does for the league, and my teammates at Bandits.
All right. Well, there you have it. Your winner, Michael Kostick, takes home the win at Darlington after a late race caution, able to take home the victory. So congratulations to him. Well, we got to give the No Neck Fast Repair Hard Charger Award winner. And man, looky here. We got Spencer Gay here in that 69 liquid cooled inline 8 Toyota, as he takes on that No Neck Fast Repair Hard Charger Award winner, 26 to 10th. What a great run by him. And he stayed out there on that last caution, 44 lap old tires, and was able to hold on for a top 10. So great job by him. And he is your Hard Charger Award winner. But that's going to do it. Man, what a great race. Man, Darlington, always a blast. And tonight, no different, man. Golly, I just love calling these races. I love Darlington. I love these driver tracks that, you know, while those two, Michael Koss and Jonathan Cofield, were really stepping out from the field, you think, oh, that could make for a boring race. I don't think so at all. I think it's very exciting. I could have clicked on just about anybody and saw some exciting racing, some great driving. And that's Darlington. That's the legend of this track. It's just a tough track, and you gotta have everything right to come here and win. And it's Kostick was able to get it done tonight, so just pretty cool. And he was the points leader coming in, and he will leave the points leader as he's going to extend that lead over Aaron Adcock by quite a bit. Aaron comes home in 14th position, so that will help Kostick out quite a bit. Wins don't get you in the playoffs, so points do matter all the way to the end. So, but anyway, that is it for me tonight. I'm Eddie Smith. This Beat Speed Racing Network production is brought to you by V-Speed and all the guys over there, Adam Baker, Bradley Cooper, all the folks that put in work here and make these broadcasts look and sound and feel the way they do. It's all due to those guys right there, and definitely appreciate them. But come on out tomorrow, Bluegrass Truck Series here on V-Speed Racing Network. And V-Speed and VSRN, they run 5 or 6 nights a week, man. We're rolling right now, so plenty of racing to watch if you want to go check something out. But y'all have a great night. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you to Mike Bertosa, Hardline Transport Solutions, for sponsoring this series. Definitely appreciate their support. Matt Clement, Brandon Wallace, do a great job. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you later.